Hello, everybody. My name is Tucker, and welcome back to our Russian fishing for spin fishing series. Sorry, bit weird for me. I've actually already recorded this introduction. We had a pretty good thunderstorm blow through right as I started this before here in real life. So, kind of catching up a little bit from that. Lost what I'd recorded, but was about right here. Hadn't caught a fish or anything. So, between episodes, I did buy one of the Dodger Crank 10 S007s, something that we've had many times before. We've lost a couple of them to Pike. We'll see how things go here at Volkov with it. Gonna try the same thing. I'm a little bit pressed for time because I lost an hour and a half with that thunderstorm, so we may just cut things off when it goes to nighttime. We'll play it a little bit by ear. Here it's about 7:15 my time, and this goes live at midnight, so it'll be 8 o'clock ish when I finish recording, and then needs 3 or 4 hours to process on the YouTube side, and it goes live at midnight. So pushing it a little bit close, and I still have to record the float fishing episode here in a few minutes. So it is January 2nd. Someone's got his squeaky dog toy in his mouth, so sorry about any squeaks in the background. And last day of vacation before I have to go back to that 4-letter W word, which means really nothing because where I'm sitting right now is where 4-letter W word happens. Other than just during the day, I may have less time to do anything. Took it easy today. Took kind of a relaxing day. Had to go run over, get some more dog food. Went over to Sam's Club, that type of thing. First fish of the day is on the original crank. Looks like a small salmon. It is. But it was a marker. Between the rain and the rain just getting in the way of things today. I'm running a little bit late. Took the 4-legged thing for his evening walk later than normal. Would have been about perfect time, but we had a good 45-minute, hour and a half storm. It's weird. I was sitting at my sitting on the couch and thought a couple of headlights came in the window because I had not seen any prediction for thunderstorms today. And turns out it was a lightning flash because right after that was thunder, followed by more lightning, followed by more thunder. So changed my plans up, ate dinner a little bit early, took the dog for the four-letter W word there since he's now laying on the couch next to me and I don't want to say it. Especially since I had left him home alone a little bit today while I went over to Sam's Club, so he's a little bit more wound up than normal. Does not like that. And it's not something that happens regularly enough. That's partially on me. I need to just deal with it and make it happen. I just don't have a reason to leave the house too much. Small perch on the spinner. Saw the bird above my head and wasn't sure what that was. Turning the wrong way. I did get logged in at what turned out to be a perfect time, though, because it was about 3 a.m. in game, so got over here to where I wanted to fish at a good time. So, especially if I decide to cut this one a little bit short today. We'll play it by ear. And I'm checking comments as I'm recording this and see someone actually recommended doing exactly what I did of getting the blue Dodger crank. So thank you. It's already something I thought about, and especially since we had this silver, it made sense. It's 45, 50 silver, somewhere in that range. I did not change the hooks on it. I left them default hooks. So that's O, that's still not I, that's I. That's on the Model 1. It's got size 1 hooks on there. Yeah, it's got size 1 hooks on there, so I'm comfortable with that. And again, for those who may just be joining me in this series, I've got an HSV and a Model 1 S88 MH with 29.2 line. Smaller leader because that's about all I could afford at the time. And honestly, this can only pull 15 kilos, so a 20 kilo leader is fine. While the mechanism's about 30, I'm okay with having a 20 kilo leader. That's why I haven't looked to replace that yet. And then I think this is my secondary rod. Yeah, this is my secondary rod. I do need to repair or replace the line. It is getting pretty worn at this point. It's actually probably the most worn thing on this equipment because we just repaired everything else. Grease is getting a little low too, but I'm not worried about that. And then finally, in my hands here is less 32. I have upgraded the friction brake to 5.4 kilo on it. And we just recently got the HSV. And we're aiming to get one more of those here in the near future, but obviously need about 5,000 silver to do that. Nice little pike. I don't know why my route is always go down here, hang a right, come up here, hang a right. Everywhere else I tend to do the typical oval car, NASCAR type pattern of turning left, but for some reason here at Volkov, I've always turned right. And I don't know why. I know a lot of people do kind of the hourglass method. I'll try that here. I don't like it partially because I get confused with where I am and end up beaching the boat quite often. Because it is a pretty tight turn to pull it off. Especially down near the castle. So hourglass is you kind of come around here, and instead of going straight north-south like I would, you angle it across towards the dock. So next step is a second HSV and rod to support that. Then we will probably start looking at grinding up lure making so that we can get the balsa minnows. And again, for those that might not know this account and the way I do things, I want this account to be a free-to-play account. I did buy premium recently just for the New Year's Eve event. We do have a 7-day premium pass that we got in the New Year's event that I may go ahead and just burn when it comes to lure making to save a little bit of silver. But please don't send me gear or anything like that. If you notice the 2 unread messages, they're actually read. It's some gear that someone sent me that I don't want to use, and I actually meant to send it back when I had premium and forgot to do that on both accounts. I've got a float account as well too if you're interested in learning about float fishing along with me. This links in the description below for playlist there. The playlist is definitely in order from episode 0, really, because I struggled with that one. Through current, I know some of the episode numbers are not extremely correct right now. I need to go back and clean those up. I just didn't have a chance to do that today. I think I have 2 or 3 episode 88s. Decent little salmon there, 3 kilo. Keep in mind that was a 3 kilo salmon on a 8 kilo rod, and it was pull and drag. So stay strong. So here's where I always screw up this turn. If you're doing the hourglass, or one of the options for hourglass, you can either turn left or turn right down here. I usually actually turn too much because I hook a fish in the middle of the turn and end up nosing into the island like I almost just did. Nope, don't cast. Switch to rod 1, pull it in. And it's a crappy perch. Not even worth it. And honestly, I turned that pretty tight. So I didn't even get too much of an hourglass. I don't know why I tend to get a lot of fish right in here. That's why I like to stay on this side. A lot of my good salmon have come in pretty much right along the fold in the map. And you may see happy hour pop up when we catch fish. I don't have premium active right now for the New Year's event. They have given everyone premium or a happy hour through January 9th Central Europe time, early morning. So basically January 8th my time. I'm States based. Another good salmon here on the HSV. 4.5 kilo, not bad. And basically this last third of the island is where I tend to catch or hook most of my good fish. Usually I catch them over by the castle by the time I get them tired out and warned in. And not warned in. Tired out and reeled in. There's the word I'm looking for. Haven't had to talk most of the day. With no 4-letter W word, and then what I do for a club every day. I canceled it because it was a holiday, so. First time I've really had to talk other than to a 4-legged thing today who doesn't necessarily understand every word I say anyway. Decent pike. 3.32. Still didn't look at Donitz for options. We still had time on the boat. And if we cut off a little bit early today, we'll still have another full day. I think I had a day and 21 hours when I got started. Man, some people are catching a lot of regional records. And those aren't weeklies, those are permanent region records. Biggest fish ever in the region. Either that or they just opened a new region. And I don't know about. I don't think so. Oh, poor Hawkman. Big pike. Or small gear. Usually if you see that rig is cut off by fish teeth, it means you ran into a pike. There's debate on if other fish can do that, but 95% of the time it's a pike. And using steel leaders can help prevent that, but steel leaders are more visible, so your bite rate will probably go down. Using thicker leader material can help. Even fluorocarbon, bigger fluorocarbon, but at the same time, I got a good fish on here and trying to decide what it's going to do. At the same time, having your leader be kind of the smallest part of your setup is best. Because if you're going to lose anything, that means you lose your leader and your lure or your hook if you're bottom fishing. You don't tear your 350 meter line and now only have 100 meter left or less. And you definitely don't want your line strength to ever be above your rod strength, because you do not want to break your rod. I did break one reel just because it was so worn out and I didn't realize how worn out the mechanism was. Actually broke the mechanism without even locking the reel. I had it on a 26 or 27 setting for the friction brake, and fish pulled just that little bit more and broke the mechanism in one of the Lacertes right as I was done with it anyway. I went ahead and fixed it just so I have it, but it is possible and it gets costly. I don't know if it's still the case because I haven't broken a rod in a long time, but it used to be if you broke your rod, you snapped it in half and you couldn't repair it. You'd have to buy a brand new one. Whereas if you break the mechanism in your reel, all you have to do is replace the mechanism. But they've redone how that works since then. I almost need to test that on a fun account. That was a big pike. That sucks. So we lost one of the original cranks. I think the one with the smaller hooks too. Yep. Let me... I thought it was a pike. I wasn't going to say anything. I didn't want the game to hear that I thought it was a pike. But it is what it is. Part of the risk of fishing with smaller equipment here. And I do want to take that lure off. Go into inventory, find it. Take the size 1 hooks off. And put a 4 and a 6. Let's just mix it up a little bit. And then, excuse me. Then put it back on. I said, put it back on. So if I remember correctly, it actually comes with size 6 hooks in both. I've had some luck a lot of times separating the hooks like that, so we'll see. Not surprised the fish gods stole a lure today with how weird today's already been for me. To me, that was a weird spot to hook it because we hooked it way out here and in the deep area, right on the edge of the deep area, not close to shore. Usually I hook pike closer to shore. Now, today has not been a good day. Great. Big fish on the spinner, too. think it's an asp. Might be a salmon. Luckily, it's not fighting too much. 1.4 kilo asp. Looks like probably a perch over on 2 or a tiny pike. Tiny baby pike. Nice little perch. Don't get stuck, nose. Okay, we're gonna be okay. Neo's getting close to land. That's a good perch. Oh, 42 grams. No, 62 grams. 62 grams away from a kilo. Water body record perch. Let's go. So no one in the US has caught a trophy perch at Volkov. Interesting. Oh no, they have. Only one person has, though. Did they reset the all-time records for the year? I think they did. That's why we're seeing so many. There's the absolute records. No. Huh. Uh-oh. Got more thunder. That's why we're seeing so many regional record messages. Is it's a yearly record, not an all-time. I thought it was an all-time. Or they did something different this year. I could have sworn I saw 2021 records up there before. Gonna have to go look in the forums. Nice chub there. 2 kilo chub. around and go the other way. Yeah, the only thing I see on the forums, people, is one person asking where they can view records of previous years, so I guess this is normal. I didn't remember it before. Go look on the Steam discussions as well. Because I don't see a news post that they had to do something different. Nothing on the Steam discussions either. Yeah, well, I can be wrong. I'm okay with that. Well, if I get disconnected or anything, we'll wrap things up. It does sound like the rain came back. You can hear the wind blowing outside. Couple of small perch there. Wow. My noise gate blocked. It was high enough that it didn't pick up the thunder. You probably heard it when I was talking, but Come on, fish. Interesting. I was just looking at VK. I hadn't done that yet today. And it's looking like everyone's saying the salmon are tending to bite closer to that island than normal. That would be an asp. So folks are drawing their lines. Usually they're drawing a line kind of right through here and then back right along the edge. Now they're drawing their lines right in here, which is honestly where I've usually had luck. So but of course they're using the balsa, you know. We'll get there in time. Honestly, the HSVs will be we'll use for a very long time. A lot of good eel spots at Oldberg too. Well, is this a salmon or is this the second large pike? This thing is surging pretty good too. Had to lower my friction brake a little bit because it was getting close to breaking the line. Partially because my line is so worn out. You'll remember not too long ago where you did repair the reel so it's at full strength, but the line's probably a little below full strength of the reel right now. This may be dumb, but I think I can turn. Ooh, don't do that, power. Just saw another good lightning flash. Although the tree that looked like it was going to fall down most recently is the one that did fall down, so hopefully we don't have to deal with that for a while. The area I live in, the houses were built in the late 60s, early 70s. The trees were planted then, and we still have above ground power and communication lines. So the power line goes from a pole in my backyard. It's actually my neighbor's backyard, but close enough. Across the center of my backyard, goes from one corner of the backyard to the center of my house on the backside. And the fiber line also does that. I'm pretty sure this is a salmon. We got something over on one too. Or one as well. And I think I'm going to have a late night recording the float episode. I got to see how long this thunderstorm is going to blow through. Well, I thought I had it. I did not. .64 kilo salmon over on rod 1. I saw it jump, but it was too far away to tell what it was. think it's a salmon or an asp. I don't think it's a pike. Hope it's not. I think if it was a pike, it would be already gone. It is a salmon. 4.331, 20,000 experience points, basically. Not bad. And I think that's going to be the last fish of the day. Going to call it a little bit early. Trying to see what's going on with the rain outside. I don't want to lose what I already have, since I've already lost things once today. Although, that didn't include any fish whatsoever. So only 20 fish in 48 minutes. Not the best fish per minute, but I think it's going to be okay. We did lose one lure and leader. I did not look at the cafe at all, so I'm just going to... Excuse me? Okay. I'm just going to take the ferry back right away. I'm not even going to look at the market. Frog, roach, carp, nace, crab, carp, common carp, Vendus, burbot. So nothing that we got, which isn't super surprising. But with that said, if we order by price, yeah, it was pretty decent. 141 silver. So take 40 off of that for the lure and hooks we lost. So 100 silver in 48 minutes. Not too bad. I will take it. And I'm going to wrap it up quickly before I get disconnected. So just had power flicker. Hope everyone enjoyed. We will talk to y'all tomorrow. Hope y'all have good tight lines, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye now.